Today is the 14th of October, Tuesday, 14th of October 2025. 4 days to the suggested and planned social media awareness campaign for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu proposed by Jacob Okechukwu, and 6 days to the proposed protest, a march to Aso Rock, proposed by Omo Yele Showore on behalf of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All of these things are geared towards how much we are going to fight and make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu receives the justice that is due, which of course is the justice for Biafra Nation. We all know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner of conscience, and we all know that the idea of keeping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just the idea of the Nigeria proxy controllers of Nigeria, but the idea of the British, which definitely own Nigeria. And I want us first to think very deeply, a very simple, question, but very, very important, critical question. Ask yourself this question: why are people bent on sustaining Nigeria? When you look at the narrative, you'll discover that the average Hausa or Fulani is against the Igbo, maybe against the Yoruba too. The average Yoruba is against the Igbo, and maybe against the Hausa too. The average Igbo is simple. He wants to just be everywhere and do his business. And somehow, if you look at everything, you discover that in spite of how each tribe responds to the other, we all have it subconsciously somewhere in our minds that we are not from Yoruba, those who are Igbos and Hausas. We're not Yoruba, we're not Igbo, we are not Hausas. Every tribe know where they are from, and consciously you are very, very committed to your tribe and nation. We want to identify with what we do, we want to brag about our own nation, we want to talk about what we and who we are, and which definitely spells out the fact that we are all different, uniquely different. And we also know that the resources that we own that belong to our nations, maybe the Yorubas don't know the kind of resources they have, maybe the Hausas don't know what they have, but in Biafra land we know what we have. We have a lot. We have gas, we have oil, we have coal, we have so many mineral resources, and so also other parts of the contraption. Maybe the reason why, I'm just trying to answer the question before I even ask it, maybe the reason why some people are bent on making sure Nigeria is sustained, I'm talking about those who are ignorant of what is happening at the level of the British control, at the level of politics, at the level of that deception and manipulation going on the ground and behind the scene. Determined by Britain or masterminded by Britain. And you must know that, I would say, let me say this. The truth about it is that I know you agree with me that majority of our people know that Nigeria was a creation of the British Empire. It has been sounded several times. We've been saying it on social media. The common person in the village, they know. And if someone comes from a place and comes to force you into a thing that is not relating properly with you, for instance, in Lagos today, which is key to the Yoruba nation, Lagos, because that was the capital before it was moved to Abuja of Nigeria. But we know that Lagos has a central base for all tribes and all of that. In spite of that, I'm talking about significantly anyways, Lagos has is the central base because of the maybe the reason of the capital initially there. Now the commercial capital, anyways, because Lagos is still the commercial capital, of the contraption. Okay, now but yet Lagos is still seen as the land of Yorubas, belonging to the Yorubas, and they keep insisting. In fact, their leaders, their politicians, the average Yoruba man believes or have a kind of feeling that the Igbo man wants to claim Lagos or want to dominate in Lagos. And there's this natural resistance within you when you find out that you are going to be dominated, or someone seems to try to dominate you, or you feel a threat of being dominated. There's this natural resistance. It shows in different ways anyways, but it is natural. It's first built in the mind before it is expressed in different ways. Some people the way they express it is to go violent. Some people are calm, they want to go diplomatic. Some people, different ways of expressing. But the truth here is that there is this resistance. Now, if just on the basis of that, you understand as a Yoruba man that Lagos is your land, the Igbo man there is just a visitor, or the Hausa man, or the Jugun man, or the Ghanaian, or whoever is in Lagos is just a visitor. It is your land. Then why are you so much bent on sustaining Nigeria, which forces your land and make it compulsorily British, or makes it or converts it to be owned by the British? Why? What's the rationale behind this? Now, the question I want to ask is, what is the reason, the purpose of anybody fighting hard to want to preserve Nigeria? I keep asking that question. What would make a normal human being? Nigeria is not yours. You are Yoruba, you are Hausa, you are Igbo, you are whatever tribe you are. And you have the information that Nigeria was created, was formed and named formally in 1914 to be a control mechanism for both Yoruba nation, Hausa nation, Igbo nation, and every other tribe or nation trapped under that composition of the British. And the critical thing here is, which I want to point out, because the reason why I'm asking this question, there's so many reasons, which if I want to go into them, this broadcast will be too long, but I just want to streamline it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention right now, illegally, is because he's demanding that what the British created should be dissolved. And the dissolution should be to help the nations heal and manage their resources for themselves. That means the wealth of the Yoruba nation would be managed by the Yorubas, the wealth of the Igbo nation managed by the Igbos, the wealth of the Hausas managed by the Hausas, the Juguns managed by the Juguns. Everyone going to manage their wealth, their resources, both human and mineral or natural resources, everything that belongs to everybody, we are going to manage it. There's one thing to say, this is my business, and there's another thing to say, this is everybody's business. My business with your business, your family. You want to take care, you want to make sure that things work out, you want to make sure that everything is accounted for, you want to make sure that everything works. That's how it is when you have a private business. You want to give your time, you want to give everything, you want to see how you can grow it, right? The same way also, when you are able to take your nation to you, or begin to manage your nation yourself, you can now be able to control how everything works, including the resources. But you know that under Nigeria, your resources are being stolen by foreign powers who have put you together just to force you into a control point where they would keep dividing you using tribal sentiments, because they know that naturally we want to preserve our own, naturally we want to be on our own, naturally we want to preserve our own. It's just like you have in a family. When your child is beaten by an outsider, you react very violently or very angrily because you believe they don't have the right to do that. No matter what the child does, come and report to me, right? When you have your resources, somebody else or your family, it's just like getting somebody come into your house and the person comes into your house and begin to dictate what you are going to do in your house, in your apartment. telling your wife what to do, telling your wife when to sleep, telling your children what to do and which school they have to go in. Somebody's dictating, and you're sitting there as a man. Or so even you, the woman or the children, you'll be wondering what's going on here. But when the man is in charge and everybody's in charge and the family is together, and you know that it is me and my family, it is safer for you. You can bring money out for anything. You can buy things for your children and all of that. You can do some stuff. But when a stranger is in control, you are not comfortable. You are going to react because it is abnormal for a stranger to come into your household and begin to manage it for you. The same way also when it comes to the nations that are trapped in Nigeria, under Nigeria or in Nigeria, each of those nations have their resources, they have their dignity, they have their culture, they have their traditions. And if you're going to talk about traditions and culture and dignity and all of that, it has to be managed by you that understand it and everything. So each of these nations have these things and they understand them, and they should be able to manage them themselves. But now strangers are coming to tell you that you cannot manage your culture, your tradition and all of that. You cannot manage your resources. We will tell you how to manage it. And they keep taking your resources and building their wealth in their nation, their development. As they develop, they come to your place, take what belongs to you, add to what they have and use it to develop their land. They begin to improve on machines, on technology, on AI, and then they come to you, take the resources that you have that are raw, that can do these things, and then take it over there, use them. They take them, majority of them, much of them, they take them free of charge, and they pay less for the ones they pay. And then they do these things and then they send them to you very expensive. They are raping you in all ways. It's like somebody coming to rape your wife. Yet someone would say that they want to sustain that thing that is stealing what belongs to them. Why? That's the big question. Now, as I was saying, I want to streamline it to Mazi and Kanu because I don't want to make this broadcast long. I don't want to exceed 15 minutes. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, and some people are so excited that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. He is in detention because he wants you to have your nation, Yoruba nation, Hausa nation, everybody have their nation, and manage what is yours. He wants you to manage your family, in other words, because he has seen that a foreigner has come, raping your wife, controlling your children. He said, no, you are the father, you are the owner of this family, you have to manage your family. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for. We are the custodians of our cultures, our traditions, and all of that. Nigeria does not have a culture, does not have a tradition, and all of that. It only has a foreign set of rules to control you, even in the midst of your culture, traditions, and otherwise. So which means as a Yoruba man, in spite of your culture and all of that, when it comes to the central point of control under Nigeria, their rules or whatever they set in their constitution determines what you do. So they will tell you now culturally what you have in your culture is invalid. The constitution of Nigeria is supreme. That's why in Igbo land, where we have the first some women, they're going to fight it even in Bible days. You can't fight it because the truth about it is that God has said it, the man is the head. Yes, the man should love his wife. When you love your wife, you treat her right. But the woman can never be the head. That's the truth. So, in Igbo land, you say the father, the first son takes over and they share the property. Then when they bring their constitution, they tell you, no, it can't be like that. But if we had our nation, we would manage our cultures and values. And if we are going to change anything, it is going to be by consensus. The same way every nation. Why are we allowing ourselves to be deceived and manipulated? Now, the person who is fighting for justice to make sure that we begin to manage our families, our businesses, our cultures and traditions is in jail. Some people are fighting it, including the people who are enslaved, who are in bondage, including the people who are in the family, the same family with them. Imagine an Igbo man would say, when Yele Shore was talking about, meeting some of these Igbo politicians and all of that, when he went, especially in Imo State, they were resisting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release because of their political desires, their political interest in the Nigeria that is not theirs. Because you know why? They are gaining criminally from it. Please remember, 18th is the day we're going to bombard social media with the information. Release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Everything we'll talk about on the 18th of this month is on Saturday. Must be about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from morning till night. Tweet it, WhatsApp it, Facebook it, messenger it, whatever you call it, bombard the internet with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released. Then on the 20th of this October 2025, after 18th, 2 days after that, you must come out if you're in Abuja to join the protest, or if you can travel down to Abuja if you can. If you cannot, no problem, stay where you are, still do the tweeting and sending the messages. But we must get ourselves out of this bondage. We can't be slaves. Our fathers cannot be slaves. We also come into the system, we remain slaves. We're not thinking of how we're going to free ourselves. And because some people are criminally minded, some of them are benefiting from the setup of Nigeria. They don't want it to divide. The truth about it is that if you are benefiting from the resources that is stolen, you can also have everything work legitimately in your nation when you have your nation, and you'll make more, because everything that you have will remain in your land. They will not be stolen. What is being given to you that you think you are enjoying is crumbs, because the colonial masters are stealing majority of your resources. You are getting crumbs. But when you have your nation, everything stays, including the crumbs. So you will even benefit more, because you are having more for the less number of people sharing this whole thing. But some people are so greedy, they don't want somebody else to succeed. They want to be the ones to be in control. We must stand up to this injustice. And if you allow yourself to be the one being used, talk against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I see some people telling you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must remain in jail, must die there. Biafrans, for that matter, saying that. If outsiders say that, no problems. They have the right to do that, because we know people out of prejudice and their wicked hearts can do so many things. Some people don't care as long as you're not their tribe. They want you dead when you are. They just feel that you are going to be too important. In fact, they don't like his guts. What kind of guts is that? Just coming to talk about Nigeria. What is Nigeria? If I ask you the question, what is the culture of Nigeria? Is the culture of Nigeria Yoruba? Is the culture of Nigeria Hausa? Is the culture of Nigeria Igbo? Is the culture of Nigeria Bagi? Or whatever tribe that is trapped in that contraption? Is the culture of Nigeria any of these? No. The culture of the Yoruba nation is the culture of the Yoruba nation. You can identify every nation by their culture and traditions. How do you identify Nigeria when none of these tribes are recognized under it? Even if they are in the constitution that we have traditions and cultures, they now override them with their own constitution, which works against your culture and values and what you believe in. Now they're working against your forefathers. They took them slaves. They're working against the Oduduwa, the setup of the Yoruba nation, the Igbo nation, the Hausa nation, every nation that is trapped. They are working against us, our forefathers who constituted those nations. They came again along the line, they took people slave, and then now they are telling you that you must remain a slave by keeping the name. If you say you are freeing somebody from slavery, would you keep forcing them to bear the name and keeping the structure that you are using to milk and steal from them from time, even when they were under colonial grip in physical, like people know, when you are presently controlled now, when you are presently controlling them, now you are indirectly controlling them. Indirect control, neo-colonialism, economically and otherwise. And you are still talking about freedom, that you are free. You are not free, because you're still being controlled. If anybody wants to set you free, they would leave you to go to how it was before they came in. They will not hold you under the name that had been used to hold you down. They will leave you for, okay, you are free now to go. Allow them, yours will go houses, but they are forcing you to still stay together. And you think you are free? You're talking about Independence Day, all this stuff. Don't you reason, please reason. Use your brain for God's sake. Even if you are gaining from Nigeria, this is the time to put a stop to it. It's time to. I've just used about almost 20 minutes, but I have to just say this. Please share this broadcast on all your social media platforms, and please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed. Please, I beg you, and please like the video as you hear this message. When you like it, it helps the algorithm of YouTube and other channels to promote this channel, because what we are saying is very important. The truth will make us all free. Whether you like me or you don't like me, the issue is not whether you like me or not. When I get a message from anybody, whoever it is, once that message is important, I like it and I share it. That's how I operate. On social media, I don't do big man. Some people they because they have so many followers and all of that, they don't want to identify with people. They want to feel like they keep sending messages. People will have to respond. I respond to anything that is important and critical, and I respond to everybody, because we're all important. I want you to know that we're all important and we're all in this together. We're all being marginalized and enslaved by the British contraption, by the British, under the contraption. They have kept us in bondage for a long time. It's time to rise. Let's rise.